Hey, Ira.
So, who's your kicker? Just kidding. Did you guys do a lot of? I'm assuming you did a lot of situational stuff with the place kickers. How did they do?
Good day for both of the guys. I do think the competition's been really good. I do think that it's starting to shape up though, and I'm starting to get a much better feel of who it's going to be. Coach Norvell and I talked about that a little bit before the scrimmage today. We're not ready to declare it and name a winner yet, but I do think we're getting closer to that. So hopefully here in the next 3 to 4 days, we'll be able to have a little bit more definitive announcement in terms of that. But but that's going to be coach's call on when that announcement is.
Chris?
Coach Norvell also talked about the long snapper competition. Can you just talk about the two guys kind of going at it there?
Yeah, I'll start with Garrett Murray. He's a guy that for the last couple of years since we've been here works hard every day. I appreciate his commitment to this program and how hard he works. And James Rosenberry is a transfer that I actually had at another school, so I have a lot of familiarity with him. And it's been good. I mean, the snapping has been good this fall camp. They battle it out. I have no problems of having a short snapper and a long snapper that split duties and using both guys based on the competition. So we'll see how it ends up this week. But I think there's a good chance that you'll end up possibly seeing both guys play this year.
Will?
Hey, Coach. So, obviously punter is not a position that a ton of people are going to talk about, but it seems like Alex has had a really impressive camp punting the ball. Just what stood out to you about the way he's punted the ball throughout?
I just think he feels really confident right now, and obviously a lot of performance, a lot of his performance is based on being in a good rhythm and a good groove, and I think he feels good about where he is. Having a whole season of experience playing American football obviously helps him. There's a lot fewer things that he's seeing now for the first time. He's been through a fall camp. He knows what to expect. And I think now he can just kind of relax and let his talent shine. And he's done a nice job of that throughout this camp. And, I'm excited for him because I thought he did some good things last year. But, I said this a week ago, and I still feel the same way. I don't think he's really scratched the surface of how good he can be.
Ira?
In the practices we watch, you guys work on kick returns and kick coverage and kind of segments. We don't really get to see it all play out. I guess you do that during a scrimmage. And how is the return game function in that setting as opposed to more kind of segmented?
Well, so we kind of building block style approach in terms of how we put things in, and what you guys see in the segments of practice that you're there is a lot of the fundamentals. As the practice goes on, we get into a lot more of the scheme. I think the return game is starting to shape up well. Everything's always going to start with the fundamental aspect of it, but I thought the last 3 or 4 days we got some really good work on both our punt return scheme and our kickoff return scheme. So I like where we're at. The speed is always the biggest difference between what it looks like in practice and that first game. So we got to keep pushing that. But I think the last 3 or 4 days we've really done some good things in both return units.
Perry?
Coach, Marcus Cushing is somebody who's been mentioned by Coach Norvell a few times, especially tonight when he mentioned that tonight was more about players who were on the cusp of getting reps, really battling. Did you see that kind of energy and execution consistency that you need from him tonight?
Yeah, I thought Marcus flashed tonight, made some plays. The thing that he absolutely brings to the table is a good edge rush presence and speed. And you saw both those things flash tonight, and he was able to make some plays. And, for him, it's a matter of how quick can we get him prepared because he's only been with us for a couple of weeks. And, every day he's learning something. So we got to get him caught up to speed, and that's what we do on a daily basis. But I liked what I saw from him tonight, and, I think he's going to be a guy that will be able to make an impact for us this fall.
Hey, Coach, with some of the adjusted rules the NCAA did with
contact and the physicality of practices, like you can't do straight line, head on sort of stuff. Is that going to be an advantage for kick coverage units, you think, or kick return units when the season starts? And are you getting a better picture of that after scrimmaging?
You know, the rule changes, I think, you know, anything any rule changes that are for the betterment of the player's safety, I think is a good thing. Some of the things that we've done traditionally from a coaching standpoint and the drills and, you know, I haven't missed them this camp, put it that way. I haven't wished that we could have done some of the things that maybe we have done in the past. We tweak and adjust, and that's one of the great things that Coach Norvell, I think, does is he's thorough and prepared in everything that we do. So I think the changes and the rule changes haven't really affected us very much because we've taken the drills and just modified them to where they're not that straight line contact, but we're still teaching the fundamentals and the technique.
We'll go to Ira for the last question.
I think we've seen a few of the freshmen get to take part in some of the, looks like with the better special teams guys like Shaheem and McLeek and some of those guys. What does it say about the ones who do get to play on those units as a freshman, if they do?
Well, I mean, I think it's a twofold part. You know, for the young guys that get to play, number one, they have to be physically ready to do it. You know, and there is a big transition from high school to the college level, so they got to be physically prepared, both with speed and strength. And then they also have to have the mental aptitude to be able to pick up what we're trying to teach. And you know, the freshmen that play, you know, they have both. They're able to pick up the scheme, they're able to pick up the fundamentals and technique, but they also have the physical ability to do it. And you know, Shaheem is an example that you brought up, but there's been a couple of those guys I think are going to have a chance. But there's still, you know, it's still some time to go until we have to make those decisions. But I do like some of our young guys on some of these special teams units.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.